Tongan sailor Joanna Mafi has been named the Royal New Zealand Navy's Sailor of the Year. Mafi has been in the Navy for almost 5 years and now holds the rank of leading writer, handling payroll and personnel management. She speaks about finding common ground in the Pacific, some of her day-to-day life, and making her dad proud.
So when I was first selected, I was more shocked when I was nominated than when I was selected. Because it was such a big thing. I knew how hard I worked throughout my career. And then there came a point where I was like, okay, like every day coming to work, I just did my best and that was all. And I wasn't expecting anything big. So when it came, I was fully shocked, but I was also allowing it to sink in and just be like, I truly deserve this. Like all the stuff that I've done over the past few years has got me here, and I should be proud of myself because I think majority of the time I'm so used to, working, and I never praised myself or anything like that. So to get this, I was like, this is it. I deserve this. So I was on deployment at the time, and my dad, we don't really text. We always call each other. So when I was away, he had messaged me, and I opened it up, and he was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm so proud of you, and you make me so happy." And I was really overwhelmed by the love from my family and everybody around me as well. Yeah, so I've been on 3 ships at the moment. This is my third one currently. I've been over to the subantarctic islands, so that's south of New Zealand. So that's Auckland Islands, Campbell Islands. Also been to Canada, Hawaii, Guam, Australia, Singapore, and most recently Niue and Fiji. My 5th year will be next month. So I've just been traveling my whole career. And what it feels good because I feel like I'm making the most of my time. And also, it makes the year go by fast as well. It's quite interesting because it's not, I think a lot of people pay a lot of money to go there, whereas for us, we get to go there for free. It's quite unique. It is quite unique because it's such a remote island that no one goes to. Um, and it's quite special in ways like we get to see animals and stuff like whales and sea lions and stuff like that. Stuff we don't really see usually. So when we see one, we're like, oh, a seal, a lion, or like a sea lion, stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty unique. Being at ship, everyone has their own roles. So when you sign up, you have to pick a trade. So on ship, every person has their own trade and their own job. A lot of it's different. It's very different. So sometimes we can be doing evolutions, and then some days I'll just be working like normally from 8 to 4. It's all different, and it depends on where we are. So we're currently a human aid relief disaster ship at the moment. So what we do is we're just on standby for any cyclones and stuff like that in the islands. So when something does occur, we'll be the first to get called out and go and help where needed. So yeah, I won't be traveling for a little bit, but I do have a trip coming up in April, which I'm really excited for. To Turkey, Gallipoli for Anzac Day. We do a lot of engagement as well with our Pacific nations. So when we went over to Niue, we had a bit of a female engagement where I actually got to speak with the High Commissioner of New Zealand in Niue. And we had a few female divers from Niue as well that were on board. And we just got to speak with them and some of their ministers. It's quite unique. I think that for me, being a Pacific Islander, um, there's a common ground, and I feel like the connection is much easier to. For me, I felt like it was easy for me to have conversations with them because our background is kind of similar, and you've got that common ground, and you can kind of build on it. So yeah, and I feel like I add value to that as well, just being Pacific Islander and being in the Royal New Zealand Navy. So this is a bit of a funny question because it's not something that I thought of as a kid that I wanted to work towards. It was a decision that I made later on as an adult. And it was always at the back of my mind, but I never paid attention to it or anything like that. So what happened was I did a lot of sports as a kid and I loved it. And then when I got into high school, it was all academics. So when I had finished high school, I had thought, okay, I'm going to go to uni because I've focused so much of my mind into my academics. Once I got into my second year of uni, I started questioning myself a lot, such as how am I going to pay? Like kept looking at my student loan, and I just kept saying to myself, like, how am I going to be able to pay this off? Is this something that I still want to do when I finish getting my degree? And these questions just keep popping up, and I was like, I don't really get this feeling a lot. So for me, it was like, what am I doing? Do I stay or do I go? And if I go, what do I choose next? So then I always had the Navy at the back of my mind, only because I'm from Auckland and I know where it is and I know a few people that have joined. So what I did was one of my friends was looking up defense careers. So I went on and started looking as well. And when I read the whole description of what they did, the thing that stood out for me was like the humanitarian aid, because I had done a lot of work with Amnesty International. And I definitely wanted to travel. Travel was a big thing for me. And also just not doing the whole mundane thing of same thing every day. I liked doing something different. So that's what stood out for me. I think the only thing that kept me wary was probably the fitness side of things, because I hadn't played sports for so long. But when I looked at it, I was like, if fitness is the only thing that's stopping me from doing this, I better start now and I better start training, because this has got everything. I'm not going to let one thing stop me. So I just went for it. I told my parents, I was like, hey, like, I don't think I want to finish uni anymore. I'm gonna switch. And they were a bit shocked at the start, but once they saw how determined I was to actually want it, my parents were like, okay, if this is in your heart to do it, then I guess the best thing we can do is just support you. So ever since I signed up till today, it's just run so smoothly. And I always tell myself, you're exactly where you are meant to be. And if I like use my degree later and I didn't even like it, I think it was more of when I was in high school, I was more in my mind and not in my heart. So the decision to swap from doing uni to joining the Navy was definitely a decision made from my heart. And I'm really, really proud that I made that decision, because it was so hard. But at the same time, I was like, this is going to reveal to me if my heart is true or not. And it has. Oh, I just love my job so much. And I think it's because it provides a lot of variety, and just not doing the same thing every single day keeps me on my toes, which I love. So, a leading writer. So, the acronym is LWTR. So, the L stands for the rank, so it's leading hand. And then the WTR is the acronym for the trade. So, my trade is a writer. So writers, what they do is they deal a lot with pay and administration. If you can think of like human resources, that's a lot of the stuff that we do, and we action a lot of promotions and awards as well. So all their allowances that they get at sea, or their allowances they get for being overseas, we're the ones that action that as well. So yeah, everything money side, we deal with it. Yeah. I think the thing is, like, when people read the description and they see administration role, they probably think that we just stay alongside the whole time, but there's actually so much opportunities for us to deploy overseas. Like, our role is so critical that we need writers to be on all like ship platforms to action people's allowances and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's quite a critical role. And me being a writer, I'm the only writer on ship, so I have to do the whole ship's allowances and all their admin as well. So with a writer, I think in all trades as well, you're not just sticking to your own core trade job. You do actually have a lot of options. You have other roles as well on ship to do. So you don't just do your admin skills. You've also got firefighting, and you've got like how to contain like toxic gases and floods like that. You've also got to be part of like evolutions, like such as refueling at sea and stuff like that. So it's not just based in the office. There's other stuff as well to it. So yeah. Try and adapt a strong mindset and the ability to push through things. So to get things done, you've always got to endure through hard times. And if you can push through that, then you're capable of achieving anything you set your mind to.